love, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. Okay, I don't expect a lot of people to show up today because this was unplanned. I didn't schedule it. It was not promoted. Yada yada yada. But I felt like doing a news break today. So this is what I'm going to do. I pre-recorded. Get the sound here perfectly here. Hold on, let me just, excuse me, guys. I get the sounds perfect here. Okay. So what I did was I pre-recorded a video, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it. And if you have any questions afterwards, then I want you to go ahead and ask me in the chat. What we're going to do is we're going to watch it together. If you have any questions in the chat that needs to be answered immediately, I will answer it. Also, what I will do is take the time to answer it afterwards. So there's a lot of information that I'm giving. There's a lot of health news that I wanted to bring to you all. And it's like so much in a little time. Let me lower this even lower more. There's so much that I'm like, darn, I can't do a whole 4-hour stream. So I decided to just go ahead and do a live stream and then just show you what I have. And then we'll go from there. Dark Star, what's up, girl? What's up? Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So once again, this is pre-recorded. The video I'm about to show you, the webinar. And then I am going to answer live any questions in the chat as the video is going along. Because that's the thing about being a producer, and then you also the commentator, you can't pay attention to the chat and also give information, you'll get sidetracked. That way I'm able to take care of everybody, like educate those who are just passively watching the video, as well as anybody who's may have questions in the chat. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead, and this is very tricky. Here we go. All right, so let's see if I got my magic going on here. Okay, so let's see, settings. Okay, here we go. Like I said, if you have any questions during the time this is playing, feel free to type it in the chat and I will be more than happy to answer it for you. 10 easy things you can do to lower your blood pressure. So let's go over this article. I pre-read this article already and I agree with basically all the steps that they recommend that you take in order to reduce your high blood pressure. So, but there are some other little small things they include in here that I disagree. And once I come across that, I will also let you know my factual take on it, as well as my professional and maybe in sometimes the case personal experience on the matter. So number one is exercise. I totally agree. This should be the number one thing. Doctors recommend at least 150 minutes per week of exercise to help reduce blood pressure. Do you understand that 150 minutes is easy peasy? Oh my goodness. Now my, oh my God, that is so minimum. Basically, when I was competing in natural bodybuilding, I would devote 4 hours a day to exercises. Now, I don't expect people to do that. And even as of now, that I've taken on commentary, especially in the political realm, I have found that I'm not able to get into the gym like I want to, and I miss it so much. But I do get a chance to get on a treadmill. I have a treadmill here in my home and I get on there for an hour. So we're talking about like what? We're doing 5 hours a day, which is well over, 5 hours a day. Sorry. 5 hours a week, which is well over 150 minutes. Okay. So, I mean, this is really good. I guess if you can really break it down, 30 minutes of walking a day would be optimal if you don't have that much time. So there should be no excuse. Now we're beginning to sit a lot and we're not moving a lot. We're staying inside a lot due to our computers. I think this is very unhealthy. And a lot of us should start moving and start getting out there. So you can take brisk walks. Well, this article is saying that brisk walking, which I definitely recommend, not the slow walking, but I mean the real nice brisk walk. I love speed walking. That's one of my favorite things because I don't like to jog because I'm so tall. But I love the brisk walking. So brisk walking is it's excellent for reducing blood pressure and improving overall circular vascular health. But also exercises can work. Other work exercises can work too. So you can do like let's say for instance, if you want to do Pilates, or if you want to do kickboxing, or if you want to do any other kind of exercises that's going to stimulate your circulatory system, go for it. If you are the type of person who loves jogging, go for it. Definitely do that. And if you haven't jogged in a long time, start off small and then slowly increase as you go further and further along on the days. Riding a bike, I love riding bicycles. I love, this is what I do miss about being, sometimes you're living in the country. When I was in Germany, I didn't have a car. I always had a bicycle, and that was, that was so great to get around, was that bicycle and walking and walking and walking. I also love to swim. Something I did do a lot when I was in Germany. I also, whenever I go on vacation to the Caribbean, I definitely swim because the water, you can see in the water. So I love to swim in oceans and lakes where you can see through the water. But if I can't see in the water, I'm not going to get in there. That's always been my MO for some reason. Dancing is another, oh gosh, who here doesn't like to dance? Dancing is very good for removing stress. Whenever I'm happy, whenever something's going my way, I definitely do a celebratory dance. I mean, I really have a good old time. And it's not that often, but I love music and I love dancing. So that's something as well. And also there's so many clubs out there, like I think it's the salsa clubs. Guys, if you ladies, listen to me. If you want to have a good time, go to a salsa club, or even go to learn salsa dance lessons. You would have a time of your life. You can thank me later. Also an interval training, which I used to do, but I don't like it too much. I don't like the whole, I mean, let me just say this. Even though I don't like it, I am not discrediting it. It's very good. Interval training, especially high intensity interval training, which is known as HIIT, HIIT, is really good. I just don't like it. That's just not my thing. It's one of those things that's like that you find in aerobic classes, and I just nah, that's not my thing. But this is something that a lot of other people do, and I suggest, if you want to go through that, you can definitely do that. Let's see. Also, strength training is also important to your health, and which is something I definitely advocate for. I love building muscle. I love strength training. It really builds up your bones. Really helps you prevent any kind of skeletal diseases and anything dealing with calcium deficiency. So you need a lot of calcium for that. And that's basically it's going to help you out with strength training. I love it. I love it. I love it. So these are the things you can do that can help reduce your high blood pressure. Also, number 2, we move on to number 2 is eat a healthy heart diet. Eating a well-balanced diet with lots of fruits and vegetables and whole grains and nuts and seeds that are also low in sodium. Also, you must have food that is very low in saturated fats, sugar, and of course, the bad cholesterol. This is important for heart health. There is a diet specifically geared towards lowering your blood pressure. I'm not going to go into that. I don't know anything. I don't know going into these specific diets. This diet is what you should only use to get rid of high blood pressure or to lower high blood pressure. I just like to keep it simple. Just keep it simple. It basically makes sure that most of your food intake is basically living foods like fruits and vegetables. And then you can go into your whole grains. If you have a gluten problem, then you could just seek gluten-free foods, but not gluten-free junk foods. I've noticed that seemed to be a trend where people are getting lots and lots of gluten-free junk food like cookies and pastries and cakes and muffins. I'm like, why would you do this? Like, no. When I'm thinking about gluten free, like I don't have a gluten intolerance. I can take gluten, no problem. But those who can't, when I think of the food you should basically eat if you have a gluten problem, if you can't tolerate gluten, that food should be something like your breads or your pastas, not cookies. Jeez Louise. You're just one step forward, 5 steps back. Anyway, I'm not gonna go on a rant, but just basically just deal with those types of foods and you'll be fine. Include nuts in there, okay? And can we please have the saltless nuts? You know what I'm saying? If you're the kind of person who loves salt, and if you do, you're more likely going to develop high blood pressure. High blood pressure is basically, I would say high blood pressure is basically diet and stress, a bad diet and stress. And that bad diet consists of a lot of bad things. One of them is a high sodium intake. If you don't like high sodium foods, you're not going to worry about it, especially if you manage high blood pressure, especially if you manage your stress. So keep that in mind, if you will, when it comes to high blood pressure. Manage your stress, learn how to basically let it go, and or shall I say, manage it to the point where it won't bother you as much, and keep your sodium level content low. So I love nuts. I love cashews. I love almonds. I love walnuts. I don't put salt on my nuts. I just don't. And if you're the kind of person who loves salty nuts, then I would suggest that you decrease it from, because I've seen it in the store, by the way, where you can have salty nuts and then you can reduce down to lightly salted, and then basically then you go down to no salt. So have that as far as a goal is concerned. So let's move on to the next one, is eat potassium and magnesium rich foods. Potassium can help regulate your heart rate and can reduce the effect that sodium has on your blood pressure. Foods like bananas, melons, oranges, apricots, avocados, leafy green vegetables, tomatoes, potatoes, sweet potatoes, tuna, salmon. Okay, with the tuna, this is where I get to interject my factual opinion and professional experience. Tuna, don't get tuna out of a can. Stay away from tuna out of a can. If you're gonna get tuna, I suggest you get it fresh. Keep it out of the can. Why would you want that aluminum poisoning? Why would you want all that sodium? I mean, do you understand how much sodium they had to put in there in the can in order to keep that flesh from rotting? Also, when it comes to salmon, don't get farm-raised salmon. Stay away from farm-raised salmon. No to farm-raised salmon. You want to get freshwater salmon always. Always get your fish fresh water, okay? No farm-raised. Leave those alone. Okay, the other foods that are high in potassium are beans, nuts, and seeds, especially like your flax seeds. I love those. They're very high in potassium. Now, magnesium is thought to help blood vessels relax, making it easier for the blood to pass through. Foods rich in magnesium includes vegetables, chicken. Okay, here we go with the chicken. If you're going to get chicken, make sure that the chicken is free ranged, and make sure it's hormone free. Now, this is tricky because a lot of times, and I've noticed this, and they may have changed it, but the last time I was shopping with a client, I had to show them the tricks and trades of a lot of food companies. So you look in the chicken, and when you look in the egg aisle, the chicken aisle, you look at the chicken aisle, and then you'll see them say brown eggs. Well, yeah, but did those brown eggs come from caged chicken, and were they fed hormones and steroids so they don't get bacteria infections, or were they allowed to free roam nine times out of 10, it wasn't the case. So you have to, and especially if you look at that price, honey, if that price is affordable, you know that chicken was in the cage. Okay. So I always look at chicken, the eggs for my clients that are coming for organic. So if you see them with the USDA seal on there, that's safe. Also, make sure that when you are looking at the eggs, you have to look at the carton to make sure that they are hormone free, that they are vegetarian fed, not fed, because believe it or not, sometimes they take the dead carcasses of the other chickens and basically grind it up and feed it. That's cannibalism for chickens, and that's how mad cow disease has developed when they do the same thing to cows. I can go on and on and on. I got so much information in my head. I can just go on a nice backstory of a lot of things, but you have to make sure that's what's going on with the chicken. And the chicken is supposed to roam around. It's supposed to roam around the yard, and then it's fed vegetable feed. So if you're gonna do chicken, you have to make sure it's like that. Legumes and other whole grains are also high in magnesium. It's better to get vitamins and minerals from food and a heart healthy diet. So remember, and I agree with this. I mean, don't always rely on popping a pill when it comes to getting your vitamin intake, especially when it comes to potassium and magnesium. Get them from your food. It's a better source. It's higher, and basically your body would absorb it better. All right, number 4, reduce sodium in your diet. One easy way to reduce your sodium intake is to limit or avoid processed foods such as lunch meats, hot dogs, bacon, frozen dinners, canned vegetables with added salt, and that sort of thing. Why would they say and that sort of thing? This is on and on and on. So basically, and other processed foods is what he should have said in this article. Most packaged convenience food like macaroni and cheese, soups, side dishes, pizza, and other multi-ingredient foods have a lot of added sodium in them. This is true. I was surprised how much sodium pizza gets. And I love pizza. I don't do it often. I do it probably twice a month, I would say. I get a pizza. And I was trying to make sure I did it the cheapest way by getting a pizza, of course, a veggie pizza. They had a sale in Kroger where their gluten-free crust pizza was not selling. And the reason why it wasn't selling was because it was like almost over double the price. It was like over double the price. So when I purchased it, I noticed that like my skin got really dry after I ate it, and that was like a telltale sign that I had too much sodium. And I looked on the back, I was like, I couldn't believe how much sodium it was in. So then I compared it to just like a freshly made pizza from Pizza Hut, and it was, I kid you not, it was 400 milligrams less sodium. So a freshly made pizza from Pizza Hut was 400 milligrams less sodium than the pizza I purchased, a vegetarian gluten-free pizza that I purchased from the convenience store. Let that just sit in, okay? So anyway, the article goes on to say, start reading labels and pay attention to the sodium content. You should aim for 1,500 milligrams or less every day. Now, let me be specific with this one right here, because this is a little misleading. Not 1,500 milligrams per pizza. You should, in my opinion, let me just be strict here. You shouldn't have this much of salt every day. I think your salt intake should be less than 1,000 milligrams, not less than 1,500. That's too much as far as I'm concerned. I believe that your content, the sodium should be less than 1,000. But you have some people who have anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000. Oh my God, no wonder high blood pressure is on the rise. So I would suggest that you go 1,000 milligrams or less. But 15 to me is too much. All right, number 5, limit your alcohol consumption. Drinking alcohol can raise blood pressure, and drinking more than one alcoholic beverages per day may raise your blood pressure and increase your risk for hypertension. So, I don't drink. Once I left Germany to come back to America to live, I just stopped drinking. I think one of the things about alcohol consumption that I did not like after a while was the peer pressure of drinking while I was over there. And in my opinion, and maybe no, well, it's still my opinion, but it's also my experience. When I start to do things on a regular basis, I can start hating it after a while. I will. It's like if I start eating a certain food on a constant basis, like for, now I'm not saying for weeks, not even for months, but if it goes on for years and I'm like, okay, why am I doing this? And it was that way from drinking. It was always customary to have a glass of wine. And I'm sorry, but a lot of times, like my friends that I had over that I well, I still have them. The ones that I would hang out with over there in Germany, I mean, it was always bottle of wine, bottle of wine, bottle of wine, and then of course they have the festivals where you have over 100 different flavors of beer. Okay, I hate beer. Beer is nasty. However, Germany has two types of beers that I can drink. One is lemon flavor and one is mixed with Coca-Cola. I know. I don't know what you call the name of it, but it's half beer and half Coca-Cola. And that was the only way I could drink it. It was pretty good though, I must admit. And the other one had a lemon flavor to it. So I was like, okay, this is doable. But other than that, I just hate it. And I think I was just burnt out from the alcohol. And I must admit, ever since I stopped drinking, like when I came back, I haven't had not even one glass of red wine or one glass of even a cooler. Okay. I haven't had any of that. And I can't, I don't even think I even want it now because I enjoy not having any of the effects of consuming alcohol. So I would suggest that those of you who are heavy alcohol drinkers, especially if you have high blood pressure, you may want to dial that down a little bit. That probably be more helpful for you. But anyway, let's go into the article. Drinking alcohol can raise blood pressure, and drinking more than one alcoholic beverage per day may raise your blood pressure and increase your risk for hypertension. So if you have to have a glass of alcohol every day, you got a problem. Did you listen to what I'm saying though? If you have to have a glass of alcohol every day, you have a problem. So that's an addiction that you have to understand why. You have to know more about yourself, why you have this type of addiction, and you have to go around and you have to go about solving that addiction because that is in itself is a problem. So I would suggest like for every if you want to stay hydrated, because one of the things about alcohol consumption, which is really bad, is that it dehydrates you. Just think about it. When you have a scar and you want to basically cleanse all the bacteria off of it, if you don't have peroxide on hand, you use alcohol. Well, what does it do? It dries you out. It dries your skin. It dries that wound out. And I mean, that is what happens when you consume alcohol in your body. It dehydrates you. And that causes high blood pressure. That causes your pressure to elevate. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to drinking alcohol, one way to offset that side effects of drinking it is dehydrating you is per glass of wine. Okay, I would suggest that you follow that up with 16 ounces of water. Yes, per glass of wine, per alcohol beverage. Like if you're having what was the alcohol? I never liked rum wasn't much of a dark liquor thing. I think the type of drink I would have is like a fuzzy navel or Tom Collins. That's basic. I'm real basic, dude. I keep it real simple. Or just a Lambrusco or a glass of Zinfandels. Those kind of wines is that I would drink. But I will always, before I went to bed, if I had 2 glasses of wine, I would make sure I would drink 32 ounces of water before I went to bed. Now did I have to go get up and urinate a lot? Of course I did, but I rather keep my kidneys and liver filtered, and then instead of having that take a negative effect on my body. All right, so here we go into number 6, reduce the stress in your life. This is easier said than done for some of you, huh? Long-term stress can lead to high blood pressure. There are small lifestyle changes you can make to both combat stress and to manage the effects of a healthy of it in healthy ways. Exercise, eating, and a healthy diet, limiting alcohol and caffeine intake, definitely caffeine intake, which I'm going to probably talk about. No, they don't even list that in here. I'm surprised. Oh, I know one I'm going to mention. I'm going to mention caffeine intake here because I have actually had some problems with this as well. I'm against coffee, and I always tell women who want to shrink their fibroids, you can't be a coffee drinker, come to my program. You just can't. I'm not even going to try to share the spotlight with you when it comes to coffee. And then we have a lot of people who are addicted to coffee, believe it or not. So if you would just basically just limit your alcohol, limit your caffeine intake, my suggestion is go from limiting the alcohol and caffeine intake to just eliminating it out of your life. Okay. So another thing they would suggest is to practice yoga, which is really good, meditation and deep breathing, which is excellent. Okay. Meditating, breathing, journaling. I totally used to journal when I was younger. Don't have the time to do it anymore, but I loved writing out my thoughts. I still have most of my journals to this day, and I like to look at them and when I'm cleaning up to see how I have grown. Laughing, by the way, laughing exercises are very, very good for you. I highly suggest them. And I think you guys should watch videos and watch movies where you're going to laugh. Listening to music, I do that all the time. It's very good at reducing stress because I'm always going to sing, or of course I'm going to dance. Like I said earlier, sing and dance as I'm listening to music is the best way to go. Spending time with your friends and family. Well, let me put emphasis on, I gotta, let me clarify this. Spend time with family and friends that are not toxic. Okay? Spend time with family and friends that are not toxic, that are not negative, that are not demanding or worrisome, and just stay away from those family and friends that bring you down, that talk down upon you, you leave them drained. You always want to spend time with family and friends that empower you, that are in good spirits, that are supportive. And if they're not these type of people, stay away from them. It's okay. Trust me. But I think there should be emphasis on the type of friends and families you should spend time with. So it's very important. Don't spend time with toxic people. Okay. Playing with animals can also help reduce your stress and lower your blood pressure. This is very true. If you have cats and dogs, I used to have kitty cats. They were very... Now, I love cats. I don't have any animals now because I'm in the process of, remodeling the home and I want to get out of here, Georgia, yada, yada, yada. When I did have a cat, and actually there were cats, and then one of them died and I only had one left, and then she passed away at the age of 16. I didn't get any more after that. I must admit that cats can kind of not cause you stress, but they can make you just go, oh my God, I am going to scream, but I I love them. They are really good for relieving stress, especially when you pet them and you hear them purr when they wake you up in the morning. I just love it. I love pets. Dogs are the same way too. They're very good for helping you relax. So, playing with them is enjoyable and it's a good way of relieving stress. All right, getting to number 7, eating dark chocolate. Eating dark chocolate. This is what's the problem with me that I'm going through right now, and I have already taken steps to reduce this. Dark chocolate, I'm not eating it, I am actually having dark chocolate drinks. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it was a hormone thing, but I recently had my cycle and it was very painful. I had cramps out the wazoo. Haven't had cramps like that in a long time. And because I'm so in tune to my body, I understand, hey, what did you do different? What did you do different in the last 2 months that will cause you to have, bad cramps like that? And the only thing I could think of was my high chocolate intake and, dark chocolate intake. So there's a hot chocolate that is made strictly from dark chocolate. It is so delicious, but it is high in caffeine. Caffeine, remember I told you caffeine is really bad for hormones, it's really bad for your uterus, it's just bad for women, period. And of course I paid the price because I was in some serious pain. And after that cycle, I drastically cut down my hot dark chocolate consumption big time. Okay. So the reason I'm telling you this is because if you're going to eat dark chocolate, you have to eat it in extreme minimum circumstances. I don't suggest you go out there and get it. I suggest, like, if you have a craving, then go get some dark chocolate. Okay. The cocoa powder that I'm having that I use for hot chocolate, like I said, it can be a little addicting because it's so delicious. And the caffeine in itself has an immediate effect. Even though these are good chocolates, I don't recommend them unless you have some extreme willpower, or if you have to get the monkey off your back for a caffeine fix like a coffee or espresso, then you definitely gonna partake into the hot cocoa powder or hot dark chocolate drinks, or eat dark chocolate. They're high in flavonoids, so they are good for you. You got to make sure it's at least 70%. I did a video on this, as a matter of fact. It's amazing. The videos I've done many years ago are still relevant to this day. So it's like 70% dark chocolate or more. Dark chocolate. 70% cocoa or more. Okay. So if you get anything under that, it's not gonna be recommended. So make sure you do that. All right, number 8, eat berries. Berries are so delicious. And we're in the season to eat them too. Now we got to hurry up because I think was August. I think strawberry season is about to go out of season. I'll see if anybody have any input on this when I finish. But I think strawberries about to go out of season. And you're gonna have to go and get them now. But as of right now, I think they're still in season. I don't know. But anyway, berries have many health benefits, and one of them is improving your blood pressure and reducing other heart diseases, reducing other heart disease risk. Berries like strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. Oh God, blueberries. They are so good for your heart. They are delicious, and they really do lower your blood pressure. Okay. So, and I don't like mixing my berries with anything. Now, some people can some people are asking me, well, if they want to eat, Greek yogurt, I tell them don't eat the Greek yogurt with fruit in it because it's going to have high fructose corn syrup in it, and high fructose corn syrup is a no-no. Yeah, I did a video on that too. So they'll say, well, can I mix it with fruit? And although I wouldn't, I'm not against it. It's not a deal breaker for me. So you can mix your berries in with your Greek yogurt. I love them in smoothies, and that's my thing. So I mix I whenever I have my strawberries or blueberries, okay, I may add a little spinach in there because you really can't taste it, and then a banana, and a frozen banana, by the way, and some almond milk. Oh God, it's so delicious! Oh my God, I'm salivating right now just thinking about it. But yeah, berries are very, very good. Number 9, we're down. We're almost finished. We're almost finished. Reduce processed sugar and refined carbohydrates. Many studies have shown a link between high blood pressure and processed sugar. Even moderate amounts of sugar can raise blood pressure. For example, during Framingham Women's Health Study, women who drink as little as 1 soda per day. Ew, good Lord, 1 soda per day, that's too much. 1 soda per day had higher blood pressure than women who drink less. Okay, you all understand that the soda thing is high in sugar, high in high fructose corn syrup, high in colorings, flavorings. Those things are not good for you. But it's not just sweet sugar that raises blood pressure. Refined carbohydrates like white bread and pasta convert to sugar quickly when they're eaten, and they may also cause blood pressure to rise. There is evidence that reducing refined sugar intake can lower your blood pressure and improve heart health. So yeah, stay away from the soda. Stay away from, guys, you got to start drinking more water. Water is your friend. Water is your friend. So I need you all to switch the carbs for carbohydrate I'm getting tongue tied here. to switch the high carb drinks, the sugary drinks, for water. And if you got to have some taste to it, which you got to get out of that thing. You got to get out of that. It doesn't have no taste. It's not supposed to have a taste. That's why it's called water. I mean, here's the thing. When people say, I can't drink water, I have to put some lemon in it or I don't drink it at all. My comeback for that is, if you can't do that for your bath water, if you can't take a shower with lemon flavored, I mean, then why do you feel that you can't drink it that way? You're just setting yourself up to be on dialysis in the future. So I would suggest that you stay far away from being only consuming water that has to be flavored. Now, if you're not a water drinker and you want to get to that level, then yeah, flavor your water. Flavor your water with organic berries, or you can also do fruits like cucumbers. Cucumbers is made of a lot of water, by the way. So you could do it that way. But other than that, if you don't do it that way, then I suggest you just basically just tough it out. Tough it out, baby. You'll be all right. So yeah, reduce your processed sugar and definitely reduce the refined carbohydrates. Don't eat bleached bread. Read your labels. See if you have bleached food in the ingredients, and stay away from it. All right, and last but not least, which I find kind of comical, where it says number 10, hug people and hug pets. There is evidence that hugging people can lower your blood pressure, and similar effects can occur when cuddling with pets and even just petting them. Now, I already talked about petting and cuddling with your pet, especially petting them. Now, let's talk about people. Believe it or not, human contact with others, touching others in an affectionate way, it will reduce your stress. You know, when somebody put their hand and rub it on your back, it feels good. It does. It really does. When somebody gives you a hug, they haven't seen you in a long time, that feels good. These are great emotions that are fill your body with endorphins, and you really want to feel wonderful. And when you see people that make you feel good, it's like a high. They're like a drug. They're just somebody you're addicted to. You just can't get enough of them. So my thing is that you'll see these projects on social experiments, I guess you can call them, on the internet where they are allowing strangers to give them a hug. You believe it or not, that doesn't work for me. I don't like to hug strangers. I don't like to hug them. Now I can shake your hand, but unless you are a hippie type, like somebody's like real hippie and like, oh, peace and love, sister, blah, 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 and they give me a hug, I don't have a problem with that. Okay. But to just there's no introduction, there's no understanding that we're in a similar setting or whatever, and you're just gonna hug me. I'm gonna find you suspect. But it could be just me. It could be just me though. It could be just me, but the thing about it is I have to add to this as touching. Touching people reduces stress. Touching them like, like if you put your hand on their shoulder, or if you rub their back, or if like you shake their hand or you grab their hand. These are very calming things that you can do. Sitting next to someone, actually, here's one. Look, I think about a while ago, it was like, let me see, 2 years ago. Because I think this is when I was back from Germany. 2 years ago, a friend of mine, her dog passed away. It was so traumatic for her. And what do you say? Because I already know how it feels to lose a pet. So I didn't know what to say. A lot of people were basically, telling her things like, it's going to be okay, time will pass. I didn't know what to say. So all I did was just sit next to her. I just sat next to her and just was still and just quiet while she just sat there, and every now and then she'll cry. Then she'll wipe her car, and then she'll sit there and be quiet. And she had no problem with silence, because I can be quiet and had no problem with silence. I'm not uncomfortable in silence. Okay. I'm very comfortable in silence. But after a while, the house began to get, crazy with more people. And therefore, I think in the entire time I sat there and was quiet with her, it was a good 10 minutes, maybe a little less. And then the visitors start coming in, and her friends start coming in, and this and the other. But she told me several months ago, that out of all the things that had happened to her that day, me sitting beside her, just sitting still with her, and as she went through her process, has done more help for her than people, sending her get well wishes on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, the people coming by, this, and the other. Me sitting there being silent with her, just sitting there beside her, like right beside her. Like I think our shoulders and our arms touched. That's how close I sat beside her. Because, you're just basically absorbing all that in. And you can take a nice detox bath to get that out of you. But that's all, that's how I looked at it. These things, having human company, being around other people, having human contact is very good for you, and it does relieve stress. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit of this, and then I am going to answer any questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and start putting them in the, because I'm going to be doing this really, really late. So I doubt very seriously I'm going to have any questions, because I didn't even prepare for this. I didn't even promote this. I don't expect anyone to even be here when I'm leaving, when I'm going to upload this, but I will take any questions if you have them. Okay, so there are other important things you can do to reduce your blood pressure and improve your health, but they may take a bit more effort than the 10 things listed above. Quitting smoking and staying away from secondhand smoke is vital to your health. I need to put emphasis on it. Stop smoking. And if you know someone that's smoking, stay away from them, because secondhand smoke is just as bad. Okay. If you want to improve your pressure, your blood pressure, you got to stay away from any kind of smoking. Okay. Secondhand smoke and smoking directly. Okay. Another important step is to lose weight and to maintain a healthy weight. Being overweight elevates your risk for high blood pressure and many other diseases and conditions. Here's the thing. I want to put emphasis on obesity. I don't even think we really have an overweight problem. I think we have an obesity obesity problem. Okay. The article goes on to say, losing just 5% of your body weight can have a significant positive impact on your blood pressure. Studies have shown that a combination of exercising and losing weight improves blood pressure numbers even more than either one alone. It may seem daunting to lose weight, but it is possible. Talk to your doctor about the other and about how other people have done it, and considering seeing a weight loss counselor too. All right, so those are the 10 things that you can do to lower your blood pressure. Now, if there's anyone, I'm going to go ahead and see if anyone in here have any questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer them now that you have in the chat. Okay, so it looks like we do have some questions. I like this. By the way, guys, I love this format. I love this format. I think I'm going to start doing this more often. I'm trying to find a format that's going to like keep me active on this channel. And I kind of like this. I like playing a pre-recorded video that I made earlier and then uploading it and then let you guys ask me questions throughout the entire the replay. That way I can focus on your questions while you're also listening. We're also listening to the information. So there is a message from Sita Vin. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm just gonna call you Sita. So Sita, there's two things she said. The first one was, I was told by a nutritionist that smoothies are bad for you because you are processing the fruit and turning it into sugar. And it's amazing the stupid things I hear that nutritionists and doctors say to some of you all, and you don't throw that dumbness back to them. You know what I'm saying? So my question is that, okay, so you're going to warn me, like say for instance, if that was me, she's going to say, you shouldn't drink any smoothies because that fruit is going to turn into sugar. Okay, so what do you recommend? I should eat a chocolate cake? How about a nice big old cheesecake? Or some chocolate pudding? What are you talking about? Like, does that make sense to you? Like, when somebody say you shouldn't eat smoothies, and here's the thing: had she said don't drink store-bought smoothies, she would have had a point, because store-bought smoothies are filled with a lot of preservatives or a lot of additives that prolong the shelf life of smoothies. I am against store-bought smoothies. You'll never hear me promote that. The only smoothies I have ever promoted were the smoothies that have a very, very short life. And I do believe this Arden Gardens. Arden Gardens is the only smoothies I have ever promoted because they go bad in 2 days. Or maybe 3. If you don't buy it within that timestamp, it will basically mold out and it'll be no good. Why? Because it's living foods. Now, if I were to take a cup of strawberries, a cup of cherries, a cup of blueberries, and then a frozen banana, and then mix that with almonds, she's going to say that that's not good for me because it's going to turn into sugar, which is not true. But here's the thing. Therefore she's saying what? I should eat some pancakes with a lot of high fructose corn syrup, maple syrup. Understand this. Medical doctors and these so-called nutritionists that go through medical training, they only go through 4 hours of nutrition while they're going through years of learning about medication. They absolutely know nothing about nutrition. And I also am judging you all for allowing yourselves to be talked to by fat nutritionists. Shame on you. Shame on you from taking advice from a fat nutritionist. What's wrong with you? Okay? You're gonna sit up here. It's just like me taking. It's like me taking financial advice from somebody homeless on the corner. Are you serious? What's wrong? So that absolutely made no sense. If I'm not mistaken, a homemade smoothie is what the 18. No, it's not even that much. It's not even that much. Uh, Put it this way: an apple pie has 10 times more sugar than the smoothie recipe I just gave. So what is her problem with that? Now, like I said, if she says store-bought smoothies, I would understand where she was coming from. Okay. But are you guys able to hear me in the chat? Press 1 if you can still hear me in the chat, because I know you guys could be just sitting there just listening to me. I want to make sure I'm not going on a rant for nothing. So that's the thing. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense to sit up here and listen to people who are unhealthy and give you nutrition advice. Okay. All right. Now let me go to your next question. So like I said, you need to fire her. And by the way, is she fat? Is just so just out of curiosity, she might not be fat, but I'm just curious for my own curiosity. Is your nutritionist overweight? Is your nutritionist overweight? Because honey, you can't tell me what to damn do if you overweight and you're a nutritionist. That's supposed to be your job. He wasn't in the best shape. Okay. Oh, it's a guy. Okay, it was a guy who told you that. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm saying. You're being nice. So in other words, he was overweight. So no overweight person can give me any type of advice on nutrition. Okay. All right. I don't go to shade tree mechanics for my car. I don't. Well, I'm already a holistic nutritionist in addition to being a naturopath. But even when I go for health advice, for my body, I don't go to somebody who looks unhealthy. All right, your next thing was, I am 36-year-old, a vegetarian, drink lots of water, I exercise regularly. My doctor wants me to get a hysterectomy because of severe anemia due to fibroids. I don't want a hysterectomy. Don't get one. You a grown woman. If you don't want to get a hysterectomy, you don't have to get a hysterectomy. Okay. And your next one is, I started taking chlorella, spirulina, and I receive weekly iron infusions. Iron infusions? What the hell? What are you talking about? You receive iron infusions? Where are you getting this iron? Okay, I had to put the brakes on the iron infusions. Why are you getting iron infusions? Where are you getting this from? I never heard of this. I mean, actually I have, but I'm against it. And nothing is working. The hemoglobulist has me going to a hospital weekly. So you're taking synthetic iron, which is canceling out the natural iron that you're... Oh, God. Wow, man. Wow, you guys have really... I have really gone that long, huh? You are canceling out the natural iron that you are taking into your body with this chlorella. I hope the chlorella and spirulina is coming from a holistic health store, and you're taking synthetic iron that's actually is going to cancel out the natural iron, also cause you constipation, also have side effects. You all need to choose a God. You all need this. This is the reason why. Well, one of the many reasons. This is one of the many reasons why I left the profession. I'm not going to compete with no daggone medical doctor when the medical doctor is the one who's causing more harm. So, and then those who are interested in coming to me, this is the reason why I charge. How much do I charge? I do have, actually, believe it or not, I have one person who did actually take me on that offer, and I have one client right now. But how much did she pay me? That's just how much I don't care no more. Like whatever. I mean, I care. I mean, she's doing really well. Hold on, how much? Yeah, damn near $3,000. Yeah, $2,984. She paid it to me like I think she's been with me for 3 months, doing excellent. She knows I don't play. That was one of the things I told her. I said, listen, I'm not your mom. I don't play with you. Okay, I don't play with you. You do what I tell you to do, and you get the results. And I'm not going to sit up here and play this whining, and then you come up here with excuses. You're going to be held accountable for everything I tell you to do. And she's doing it. She has lost 30 pounds already, which was not the case. I was not trying to get her to lose any weight. I promise you I wasn't trying to get her to lose weight. But I have stopped her from bleeding because she went and got Lupron. So it's like a lot of things that she has been doing, I've undone. Like, and she got 3 more months with me, and she's like, even when her fibroids do shrink, she's still going to stay with me. And she's so cooperative that I'm like, okay, I could take somebody on like you. When I eat cherries, my throat itches even after washing it. Why is that? LaDawn, that could be what I don't know. Well, cherry season is over with right now, but when cherry season gets back into season next year, this is what I suggest you do. I suggest you go to a farm, okay? Go to a natural farm and clean their cherries and eat it, and then see if it still itches, and then try another farm, someplace totally different. And if your throat eats it, if it itches, then you're allergic to cherries. The only time I've noticed when people have itchy throat with cherries is because the farmer is using some type of pesticide that you are allergic to. It doesn't matter if you are washing them. If the pesticides has seeped inside of the cherries, you're going to consume them. Hence why I always get, when it comes to cherries or any kind of skin that I eat, what I mean by that is any fruit or vegetables where I consume the skin, cucumbers, when it comes to cucumbers, when it comes to vegetables, lettuce. Okay, when it comes to fruit, we're talking about grapes, we're talking about cherries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. I don't eat those unless they come from organic farms, because I don't want to consume I don't want to consume any of the pesticides that has been sprayed on that. That will cause you to have a itchy throat. So what I suggest is that you basically try that next year. Right now, cherries are out of season, so you got to try it next year. The hematologist. Okay, hematologist has me going to the hospital weekly. Sweetie, are you grown? Are you a grown woman? Are you a grown woman? I gotta ask you that. I'm being funny, but I'm sorry. Are you grown? I have received weakness for 4 months, and my iron saturation still almost low, 0. Oh Lord, choose a God. Uh, yeah, that's what I said. Dark Star. It could be a pesticide. Can you please tell me what is good remedy for swollen feet from high blood pressure? Swollen feet from high blood pressure is always due. Well, let me just say, 80% due to a side effects to medication. What type of medication are you on? I have yet to meet someone who had swelled feet and they were not on some kind of medication. If I reduce my meat intake to once a day, when should I consume it to morning? When should I consume it? Morning or evening? Evening. Never. You should never consume meat in the morning. What should I do for my fibroids and anemia? To be honest, you have to decide who you're going to listen to. If you're going to listen to medical doctors, you need to go all in. You need to go all in. Leave this health business, leave the natural world alone, leave holistic remedies alone. Don't go to herbs, don't go to natural route, don't do everything the medical doctors want you to do. If you're going to go the health route, you need to be all in. You need to be all in with the health route. You need to strictly be with the holistic method. You cannot serve two gods when it comes to this. So that's what your first you need to come to a realization of this. And it's not for everybody. Let me just say this. I am a naturopath telling you that this ain't for you if you cannot do without your medical doctor. It's not easy. It's not right for everybody. I will be the first to discourage you from coming this way. But one thing you have to do is you have to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, then this ain't the route to go. If you're not vigilant, and if you don't have a motivation to come the holistic route, then stay with the medical route. But you can't serve two gods. You just can't. You can't be messing with your medical doctor and then you're taking herbs too. And in your case, you're getting iron infusion and you're taking chlorella and spirulina? Choose a god. You can't do that. You're taking iron infusion from your medical doctor, which is causing more harm, twice as more harm than good. And then you're taking chlorella and spirulina, which are holistic methods that are excellent for the blood, especially spirulina. You can't do that. The synthetic iron you're getting from your medical doctor has basically destroyed and canceled out all that expensive chlorella and spirulina that you have been taking for all these months. Stop it. Stop it. If you're going to go the medical route, there's no judgment from me. Because I have told lots of people to leave me alone and go to the medical route because this is not for them. And that's okay. I'm telling you too that if this is too hard to go the holistic route, go to the medical route, listen to everything your medical doctor tells you to do everything your medical doctor tells you to do, and you have to live with it. What is the holistic method for fibroids if all in for natural route? I missed the actual remedy, just join. There is no one size fit all method. Everybody is different. Like I said, I am very expensive to come to. And if you want to go to the other, somebody who's not as expensive as me, Queen of Four. You're going to have to, and that's the only person I know who's been doing this for the very, very long time. For me, it's going to cost you $3,000. And that doesn't even include your herbal supplements. She's not going to be expensive like that. There's no one size fit all. Everybody have different types of fibroids. Everybody have a different size uterus. Everybody have different locations of their fibroids. Everybody have a different lifestyle, sleeping habits, eating habits. All of that has to be listened to by a human being, not a book. You have to listen to a human being has to listen to that. And with the expertise, she and I will basically will give you a program that's geared specifically for your body and your body only. Okay? Queen of Four, Google her. So that's how y'all gonna do it. Okay, so did I answer all the questions? Hold on. Okay. I have been natural before it was a trend. Eating meat at night sits in your gut. Not good. Eating meat at all is not good, but you shouldn't do it in the morning time because if you do it in the morning time, it's going to slow down your metabolism. Okay. Breakfast means breaking a fast, and you never break your fast with meat. What should I do for my fibroids and anemia? It's the question is who are you going to go to? Who are you going to stay loyal to? I can't even answer your question because I don't know if you're going to go the medical route or if you're going to go the holistic route. If you're going the medical route, get rid of everybody who's dealing with holistic. Don't listen to the videos, don't read the books, don't deal nothing with holistic. If you're going to go the holistic route, you need to get rid of you need to get rid of all this iron infusion by law. Let me just say this, by law, I can't tell you legally to get rid of your medical doctor, but I can say this legally. If I was you and I decided to go the holistic route, why the heck would I go to a medical doctor? You must have some good insurance to be getting all that stuff done to you. All right. So I think I'm going to do this some more again where I have a pre-recorded video. It always leads to fibroids, doesn't it? How to lower cholesterol. Maybe I'll do a video on that one too. But basically, go vegan. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be real. I am gonna be lazy, but very 100% effective with it. Go vegan. You want to get rid of cholesterol? Go vegan. Go vegan. That's how, look, that is and even though I'm laughing and I'm actually just taking the lazy way out, it's really true though. I'm really being truthful here. If you don't want to have a cholesterol problem, go vegan. You can't have one unless you frying all your vegetables. Unless you frying everything, I don't see how it's possible for you to have a high cholesterol. But see, I'm gonna stop telling people, you need to monitor your diet. You need to stop doing this. They don't listen. So you know what I just say? Go vegan. That's the only way I can say it. And then they're like, oh no. See, you rather die before you eat right. So live your life eating all the foods you want and die early in pain. But you have to be comfortable with one or the other. Okay? I've had so many people in my profession that have had cancer. And when I tell them the things that they have to do, the foods that they have to stop eating, they all said, "Oh my God, that's worse than cancer." Then I said, "Okay, you rather die then?" And guess what? The answer was yes. And they're all gone now. They're all gone. They're no longer here on this earth because eating that fried foods, eating that bacon, ham hocks, collard greens with some ham hocks in it, eating all that, crackling cornbread, that was more important, more satisfying than basically naturally reversing their body of cancer. And there's no judgment from me. You like it, I love it. All roads lead to fibroids. I know, isn't it? Food addiction is real. Mindset has to change. Must have knowledge. This is true, Jacqueline. Trish, my mom has hypothyroid and high cholesterol. She does not fry anything, but does eat chicken. This is from your mom? Trish, let it go. Let your mom is too old to change her diet, honey. I'm sorry. I thought you was just asking this for you. Let it go. Y'all need to let your parents go. Let your parents eat whatever they want to eat and just deal with the suffering. They're not going to change. You may not realize that now and you may not accept it now, but in the future you will accept it and you will realize it. You can't change your parents' diet no matter how you try. They're not going to listen to you. They have to decide it within their minds to do what they have to do. They have to decide in their minds to change they're living their lifestyle. Okay. And if they are not going to change it, there's nothing you can say. There's no how many books. There's no matter how many seminars you send them to. There is none. Nothing you can do that's going to help them. Let them go. Let them live their life. I know you hate seeing them suffer. Trust me, I know from personal experience. The one woman who I love like my mom, I mean, I was so tore up. My aunt was better. She was more of a mother to me than anything. She had pancreatic cancer, and I tried hard. I stopped everything I was doing. I flew all the way from Germany, that was expensive, to come all the way over here to Georgia, to drive all the way down there to Scriven, Georgia, 4-hour drive, to try to help her fight to live. And I was no match, because the day I got there, hospice got there too. And she would not kick them out. I said, Auntie, I can't help you if these death people are here. I can't do it. But she cared about everybody's feelings but her own. And I was all alone among my cousins and my uncles, trying to fight for. All of them was sitting here reading her Bible scriptures and telling her, we're going to sit up here and pray with you until you go to glory. What an awful thing. And I was so angry, and I didn't want to lash out at them because that was going to make her feel uncomfortable. But I wanted to lash out at these people and say, she is not dead. Stop talking to her as if she's going to die tomorrow. And so they programmed her mind to accept death. And once I saw that happening, I left. I gave her a kiss. I saw her I gave her a kiss on her cheek. I told her I love her. I didn't want to see her suffer as she began to deteriorate, which happened 10 days later. I was like, nope, not staying here for this. And I came to acceptance. There was nothing I could do to save I'm just going to say she was like my real mom. She wasn't my real mom, my biological mom, but she was like my mom. There was nothing I could do to save her. You all are going to have to come to that realization. That was a life lesson I make sure I pass on to everybody. You're going to have to accept your parents' eating habits, lifestyle, thought process. You're just going to have to accept them for who they are. If you can't hang, then just keep your distance. If you can, you're going to have to accept them, flaws and all. Okay, one more question, and then I got to bounce. But I like this format. What I will be doing this again, as a matter of fact, let me tell you when I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again on Thursday, and this time I'm not going to do it at night. I'm going to do it in the morning. So let's see. I'm going to do another webinar, and I'm going to do one. Let's see. How about this? How about we do one on why the lack of sleep is bad for your health, and why good sleep. Let's just talk about sleep. You know, how poor sleep can lead to weight gain. Also how this sleep can improve your health. Yeah, we're going to sleep. So the next seminar, and I'll leave a link for this. I'll leave a link for this particular article that I read. I'll leave it in the description box if you guys want to read at your own time. So one last question. Gosh, did you guys ask? Let me see. You can think. Yes, night worker here. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to, Jacqueline. I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm afraid I can't do. The only reason I did this nighttime webinar is because I just felt motivated. I get a lot of my drive at night, but I was like, darn, you know what? This is a good time to do one and to see if this new format. See, I'm trying to come up with a format that's going to keep me active on this site. You know what I'm saying? As of right now, this seems like a winner where I can pre-record a video, upload it on a live stream, and then talk to you guys in the chat. and answer your questions while we are both watching the video together. I kind of like, and then after the video is over with, I'll answer your questions. So here we go. So let me see, what time should I do it? Okay, I'm gonna let you guys pick a time. This Thursday, should I do, in reference to the sleep, we're gonna do a sleep webinar, okay, in a day. Should I do it at 11 a.m. or 2 o'clock p.m.? I'm going to let you guys decide. Type it in the chat. And then I'm going to tell you, if nobody else have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and log off. 11 o'clock a.m. or 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me put this in it. Day webinars are fine. I work nights and would enjoy sleep topic. 2 p.m. Okay, we have a vote for 2 p.m. Okay. We got y'all. I got y'all watching. Let me see. Doctor hours are going to change, so you may not see me much starting next week. Oh, okay. All right, Dark Star girl. Okay, we got one. So we got a tie. We got one for 11 a.m. and one for 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who's going to break the tie? I need somebody to break the tie so that I can log off. 11 a.m., 2 a.m. Eastern Standard. Okay, come on, y'all. This is what happens. Okay, 2 o'clock it is. All right, 2 o'clock it is. So this Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will do another webinar on sleep. Okay, so without further ado, this was enjoyable. I enjoyed myself. I will see you all then this Thursday. Okay, I think that's going to be, let me make sure I get the date for that. This Thursday, that will be August the 15th. And at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have another webinar. 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I'll see you all then. All right, peace and blessings.